Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Get Printing. I'm your host, Zach Dewhurst, the Business Development Manager at DecoNetwork. I also am the owner of PrintPhase, a plastisol and DTF heat transfer supply company that I started all the way back in 2009. A year after I started the company, I signed up for the best software in the industry, DecoNetwork. And one thing that I've learned in all my years in the industry is that promotional products are popular, but they have high minimums and really high setup fees to get started. So, do you ever ask yourself, do you wish you could offer no minimum promotional products or offer them on demand on one of your affiliate sites? Well, with us today is Ali Katra, who is the CEO of JZ Embroidery and has been offering UV DTF transfers over the past couple of years when it just started making its way over here in the States. Ali started JZ Embroidery back in 2009, and he is a family man with a couple of kids, and before he had those kids, he loved to travel the country, really just crashing on friends' couches. So, Ali is here to share his valuable insights on how to offer no minimum promotional products using UV DTF transfers. We're also going to talk about how these DTF transfers essentially can easily decorate products that your customer brings to you, as it's really just a three-dimensional, very durable sticker. But before we jump into this episode, we need to talk about our sponsor, DecoNetwork, the all-in-one print shop automation software. Are you tired of juggling multiple tools to keep your print shop running smoothly? DecoNetwork is here to transform the way you do business. With DecoNetwork, you can effortlessly organize production, integrate with suppliers, manage your orders, and sell online all in one place. No more headaches, wasting time, or using multiple platforms. DecoNetwork streamlines your workflow from order management to artwork approval, production workflows, and shipping. Plus, with its powerful e-commerce capabilities, you can create a beautiful online store in just minutes using the drag and drop what you see, what you get editor. Now, it's time to take your business to the next level by visiting DecoNetwork.com and request your free demo today. DecoNetwork, the print shop automation software to organize production and sell online. Now, let's get back to the show. How's it going, Ali?
Good. How's it going, man? It's been a while since you were at my shop. About a year now, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's about a year ago. Me and a couple of DecoNetwork team members got to stop by JZ Embroidery, Duncanville, Texas. And yeah, you are a unique individual in that you were one of the first people in the States to really dive into DTF. And then not only your classic heat transfer DTF, but what we're going to talk about today, UV DTF. I mean, you were one of the very first shops that I ever saw one of those printers in over a year ago. And it amazes me how many people in the industry that love DTF still don't know what UV DTF is. So can you tell us a little bit about what UV DTF transfers are all about?
So basically, it's just a printing technology. It's just the same way the the DTF was, the DTG printing was to the UV DTFs. Hold on, sorry.
There's too many acronyms here.
Yes, I'm mixing everything up. What I was going to say. Okay.
So UV DTF is similar in traditional DTF in that we are printing ink directly onto a film.
Correct. So, yes. So, it's the same technology where DTG was, where it was printing directly to the garment and then changed to DTF. Now it's printing on transfer. The same way there were printers, you put a bottle in, would print on the bottle and it will rotate, so which was the UV printing. Now it has turned into transfer system where it prints on the transfer just like DTF, and then you can stick and peel and pretty much stick, peel, and put it on any hard surface, whether it's, I mean, I've done it from, boxes to bottles, tumblers, car stickers, bumper stickers. However, it's not great. It's so solid, it's so durable that once you put on the bumper and you try to take it off, it chips the paint. So I tell people to put on the glass.
It is, I mean, in simplest terms, UV DTF is a three-dimensional, very durable sticker. I mean,
Correct.
in its simplest terms. And just like DTF, you're using a essentially roll-to-roll wide format printer, but after it's printed, it is actually being cured using UV light, and then it is essentially put together with a second carrier. Um, and then you can again peel away one part, apply it, peel that second part away. You've got I mean, very similar to like sign vinyl in a way, but again, it has that three-dimensional look and feel, and I've always liked that, Ali. I think that the three-dimensional portion stands out to customers and what separates it from a normal sticker. And just like normal DTF, there's no weeding. And that's the
Right.
beautiful thing. You know, if you think about like traditional sign vinyl, you throw away so much and there's that weeding process and you're limited to one color at a time. UV DTF, CMYK, full color. What is different than traditional DTF versus UV is that it isn't mirrored as far as transparency, right? You print white, then CMYK,
Correct.
then
Just
a
like
clear,
right on a
and
clip.
and then
So
yeah.
yes, absolutely. So you print in a sheet, of course. Now when I started, there was just only white sheet. Now there comes transfer sheets. So this sheets are transfer, and then of course the lamination sheet is also transfer. So now there are transfer sheets, which you can clearly see through. People, because sometimes people see this, they just still think it's a basic sticker, and they think this white comes with it. But of course it's not, because you peel and stick, and it's all clear. So yeah, and again, people love the 3D feel of it. So it's just that it's somewhere, of course, you can't see in the camera, but the 3D feel of it. And I have a 6-pass, and I print a 6-pass and 8-pass. On 8-pass, you will feel more of a 3D, a little bit, because it's pouring more ink down versus a 6-pass. But some people come back and say, hey, you know what? I like the sample you provided a long time ago, and I like the thickness of it. Can we do that? And I was like, oh, you know what? I just start doing 6-pass. But absolutely, I can start doing 8-pass. So it's just, yeah, that's what people like about it. And scratch proof, once I put it on, people have literally thrown in their dishwasher so many times. If you put it right next to the jet, it will scrape out pretty much anything, including a skin. But if you put it in the middle or somewhere, yeah, it holds 10, 15 washes I've seen.
Well, okay, so let's talk about it, because what UV DTF is really meant for more than anything are the hard goods. Essentially, if I can't heat press it, I want to use a UV sticker in a way, and they're typically a smaller print. So drinkware, that's one of the most popular types of promo product or hard goods. So right here, I have my aluminum coffee mug. I have some very fine detail in here. This has been washed at least 50 times, and nothing is flaking off. It's on the top rack.
Right.
Most shops who offer UV DTF would slip something in with this and say hand wash only to keep it safe, to protect themselves.
Absolutely.
If you put it on the top rack and the UV DTF was properly printed and cured and everything else,
Right.
you should be fine most of the time.
Yes, sir.
This tumbler is too tall. It can't go on the top rack, and so it's got to go on the bottom rack. Well, guess what? This has been washed dozens and dozens of times without any issues. And I think I have seen, at least in the last year and a half or so, the quality get better. It's just like anything. The consumables get better. The printers get better. Everything gets better as far as durability and final quality. So what we really want to talk about today is like how UV DTF transfers can be used to offer essentially no minimum or print on demand promotional product printing. Because again, I had a big sheet of DecoNetwork logos printed, and then I just chose random products. Let's put that on. Let's put that on. And it's really cool, again, how these UV DTF stickers, they're so easy for somebody to apply.
Right.
It's not like, traditional promotional product printing where we typically have a big setup and it's all about, taking time to get the job done, versus I don't mind sitting on blank promotional products, grabbing one out of the box, having a series of transfers, grab one of those transfers, apply it. It's just like when we drop ship fulfill print on demand for apparel, we typically have the most popular transfers already sitting on the back rack. They're there.
Right.
We grab one, sure comes in, we do it. Same thing with the UV DTF transfer. And if you're doing stores for clients, you are primarily probably pushing apparel, but you may not realize how easy it is to start offering these hard goods, especially if you already have like an account with Alpha Broder, for example. Alpha Broder now sells promotional products blank, and they'll decorate them. So you could offer that blank and, hey, it's under 20 pieces. Well, I'm going to just buy the blanks, put the sticker on myself. They want 500 pieces. Yeah, I'm going to hit up Alpha probably and let them do it. I mean, it's just like every decoration process. There's time and place. But, man, has it really opened the door into these, between Alpha making it so easy to buy the products blank at a good price and now having the flexibility to just put a nice three-dimensional sticker on there. It's a game changer for these types of goods. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, it is. I mean, it just, and then the cost effective because, so again, I've been here 15 years and I would get customers who want 30, 20, 60 mugs or even 10 mugs for an event or whatnot. And I would always say, sorry, some of the suppliers from Sage, ASI would be like, sorry, it's 50 minimum of certain bottles. But now it's a game changer because I, of course, print my own sheet and all I'm doing is just peeling it. I'm just peeling and sticking it. So now, I am buying blanks from Alpha Broder, whether I have it or I'm telling customers to bring your own. And at this point, literally just peel and stick. So it has really stepped up my game because before, sorry, it has 50 minimum. And now I'll do 12, but I'll charge you because now the customer is thinking, wow, he can do it. Go to Jay-Z and Broder, he can do it because anybody else they're like, sorry, it's got to be 60 because they're looking at the same supplier I'm looking at. So literally, I just did last week. A customer wanted to just give away. It was a cheap $10 tumblers from Amazon, a dozen, and I charged them $35. So literally, I bought it from $10 from Amazon, and I charged him $35 to peel and stick the sticker. And he was happy with it that he was able to get it. He only needed 6, and he only needed 6. So the less it is, the more I can charge. So it is a game changer because I have put at my kids' bedroom on their tubs. The book tubs, I put the stickers on it with cartoon characters and their names, separating from one kid to another. The tumblers, their backpack. In fact, you wouldn't believe it. If you think this is DTF or printing, this is UV. I quickly put this on, UV sticker. I quickly put this on for the interview. Look at that. The EM came out. Quickly put it on because I'm like, oh, you know what? I forgot to wear my shirt, and this works, and I can just peel it off. Not that it's used for, but I just quickly put it on because this is safe.
Hey, I've seen UV DTF stickers on foam trucker hats, and and they actually would heat seal them afterward. They look beautiful.
Okay.
You can absolutely use these on some apparel, and if you heat seal it, it seals it a lot better. But there's a lot of promo products are only increasing in popularity, and again, every year it seems like customers want to buy less, more colors. It's going in the opposite direction of engraving or screen printing because I can't do 10 colors, 20 pieces. Well, I can do DTF. So and it's only going to gain in popularity. Another big thing, Ali, is it's a transfer. What does that really mean? You don't have to do the actual printing. You just have to do the actual application. And somebody like you don't just apply the transfers, but you print, apply, and also sell them to other decoration shops.
Correct.
And I know I've visited 3 or 4 shops in your area, and they're all getting their DTF transfers from you, and they have no interest of buying their own equipment because why? Lee's going to do them at a great price, keep that headache off my plate. UV DTF is just like normal DTF. Yeah, I know you did it yourself, Ali. You probably lost some hair too in the process of figuring all this out. When you go, you buy something from China and you gotta. I remember when I stopped at your shop, you talked about having taken the whole thing apart, reassembled it. UV DTF. Did you find it to be as big of a challenge to bring in-house like normal DTF? Because it is different. There's different variables to get right. It's a different type of ink and all that.
Right. Yeah, it is. It is varnish. So the way it prints white, then it prints CMYK, and there's a bottle of varnish which prints on it and which seals the CMYK, and then on top of that the lamination. So, but it stinks a lot. Some of the shops I know, they absolutely cannot stand the smell of the varnish. So it is something where some shops don't like the smell. But no, as far as the compared to the DTF, the headaches I have the DTF, taking the whole printer apart, changing motherboards, headboards, and literally lines and everything else, crashing. Luckily, so far in about a year and a half I have it, UV DTF has been well made. The heads are different. It's not your typical Epson 3200s. It is actually i3200s, but it's made for UV, so the ink's different.
Yep. Okay.
And but no, luckily it's been phenomenal. I print quite a bit. I have a big sheet right now on the DTF, which I'm shipping to Colorado. Again, a DTF friend of mine who prints DTF only, and she's like, I have no interest in buying the machine. I will just, ship it from you. I'll outsource it, and she's happy with it. So, no, luckily I've been that printer's been great and no problems at all.
Awesome. Now you just brought up some of the clear coat stuff. So again, we lay down white, CMYK, just like normal, and then a clear coat. Right. Now, the clear coat is what gives the print the durability and a lot of the dimension. Correct.
Correct. The 3Dness, and it seals the CMYK, and along with the UV light. So of course the whole UV light, UV DTF kicks in where the clear coat goes on it, and then UV light goes in, makes the clear coat solid right away, instantly. As soon as it passes, it's solid. So, and then of course you have this device next to it, which is the water passing through to keep the UV light cool. If not, it'll burn up the UV light. So if you forget to turn that the box on, which I've done it before, and you'll print the whole sheet, and as soon as it goes through a laminate, it spreads. The CMYK spreads as soon as the laminate touches the CMYK, because the UV did not cure the clear coat, and because the water system was not on and the light was just heating up. It's just technical stuff. But yeah, that's what makes it the 3D feel. Absolutely.
And if anybody ever, gets UV DTF transfers and finds it difficult to peel the carrier off, or it's not durable on the product, is that typically a clear coat issue?
No, I would say that is the roller. So it prints out, and you have a roller, which roller has heat in it. The roller laminates the print coming out, and if that roller temperature is not right, it will laminate it, but once you peel, it will crack. So I had complaints, not me, sorry. I've seen people go in other places and saying, hey, this is the transfer bot, look at this, I can just take this, and if I do this, it cracks. So it literally just cracks and comes out because the curing process, the temperature wasn't right. So just like in DTF, how you have to be very careful on the curing heat temperature and the powder and all that good stuff. Over here there's no powders, but the only thing you have to take care of is pay attention to is the roller temperature, and of course the moisture, humidity, that's just on all printers out there with this Epson heads. Humidity is very important.
It's the same thing roughly. You want to be 50 to 60% humidity, the better flow of ink essentially.
Yeah, they recommend 65. As long as I've been printing, 65 and up is just phenomenal.
It's
but
so
you can still,
high.
I know. I have 3 humidifiers, and I barely hit 65 because I got a big square shop. Unless I isolate and just make a room and just have, but at 65 is hard to reach. But I go 50-55 and I print just fine because my UV DTF
What would make it difficult for that UV DTF sticker to peel away from the carrier versus sticking to the initial carrier that it was printed on?
So what do you mean by that?
Okay, so we first print on, and then we laminate with the clear carrier.
Right.
I've gotten UV DTF where it just does not want to stay on the clear; it wants to stay on the original.
The sheet.
Roll
Yeah,
that was printed on.
Okay.
Yeah, sheet. So what would cause that? What mistake is
the heat.
going on there?
It is
It's
the
the
heat,
heat.
because if the heat was not at the temperature it needs to be, it the lamination, this part didn't heat up enough for it to really grab that UV DTF, the CMYK. So
Ah,
it really is
okay.
the heat. If you so basically, I turned my DTF off on and wait about 40 minutes for till that roller gets hot enough for the temperature it needs to be. Then I start printing. Unlike DTF, you turn it on, you
Yep.
start printing in 2 minutes. But in the UV, I have to wait. So even if there's a rush job, which I do get every single day, I have to. We come on, we turn it on. I go look at it. I touch it, make sure the roller is hot. It's pretty hot. It's 140 degrees, and I touch it. I was like maybe 2 seconds. I touch it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna burn my finger. And at that point, it's ready because, again, it all comes down to when I bought the printer. China recommendation was the recommendation what I was printing, and it was cracking. While I'm peeling, it will crack, and I was like, "What's going on?" Took me about a month or two to figure out to come to the point where it needs to be the perfect temperature. Then from that point, I'm not having that cracking. I will do that on the old one; it will crack. That's it. The whole chunk will come out.
And
But
was that too much heat you said or too little?
it was too little heat. It was too little heat,
So
and then China recommended. So default when the printer came in, didn't come with a lot of instructions or any booklet or
there's
anything
no
like that.
manual. Why would you need a manual?
That's China. So I turn it on. I started printing some stuff. Once I got it, calibration, everything going, and I peel and try some samples, R&Ds, and it was cracking. Went to the temperature they recommended, which was 160, cracking. To the point I realized, no, neither them, neither what it was default 120. Now my temperature 120 is working fine for me. So it's all a matter of
Cool.
time and temperature.
You know what though, Ali? I talk with a lot of DTF guys. What works for your printer in your shop may not be the same exact variables in another. It blows my mind that
Yeah.
you could have the exact same printer, the same consumables, but you may use a different color profile in this part of the country versus that part of the country, and other changes like that. It is frustrating.
It is.
But gosh, with a lot of, I mean, it's just like normal DTF. Once you get it dialed in, oh my, do you just, it's a lot of fun.
It is.
Now, that clear coat, you typically go past the CMYK. Is that correct? Do you stroke the clear coat so that it's a little bit bigger than the print?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
choke
So
it, or is it, okay, so it's a
yeah,
little
you
bit
choke.
bigger.
You choke in DTF. You choke inside. In UV, you choke outside.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
so you
So
stroke the clear.
yeah, you stroke it out. Yes, sir. So yes, it will go outside because it's clear. So you won't ever see it on anything you ever put on. So you see, even if I
Yeah.
show you this wrap, the black, it's black, but you won't see any clear on it. So I mean, it's clear.
What happens if you didn't stroke it though? What would the durability hurt?
I mean, that's what it's, yeah, because it's supposed to choke, and if you don't choke it, then I think the edges will start, perhaps over time after wash and whatnot, will start peeling out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
And then
that
probably
makes
the same.
sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Especially on the small
Um,
cracks.
Now, when it comes to DTF, you explained that with UV, you have the same challenges when it comes to a controlled environment. After you print the transfers, what's the shelf life like? I mean, it's just like with normal UV, or normal DTF. I have to think that it comes down the way that it's being stored. These carriers don't like humidity. So is that kind of true? If you keep these UV DTF stickers in a 40% or less humidity environment, do they last a while, or is it going to be difficult to peel? What's
I would
your
say
opinion there?
so. I've not tried that quite a bit with UV DTF, but with DTF, I've tried it. I've stored it for about a year. But I've been printing DTF for 3.5 years. But the DTF, yes, I've stored some designs from last year to this year, and if they're not kept in 40 degrees, if they're kept in under 40 degrees, they will go bad on me.
Under 40%.
I've
Yep.
realized that. So UV, I would say I've not done it yet, but I would say UV will probably last longer than DTF because there was not powder and curing process. So these are being just regular stickers, UV cured. I would say they will last longer, but I don't think they would. They will last longer, but I don't think. I mean, if you go throw it in Arizona temperature, then yeah, it might affect. But I still have to. I would think it still has to be more than 40% for it to last longer.
Okay.
Still, yeah.
And you know, the colors. So your printer is CMYK. You had to
Right.
dial it in to be able to match certain Pantones and so forth. Do you, more and more of these printers, when I go to trade shows, I see CMYK, and then it has red, green, blue, orange, or it's got light cyan, light magenta. Do you ever see yourself struggling to hit certain colors with CMYK? Because, in my opinion, more colors only makes a print better if the color profile and the driver, everything is working together. Because CMYK can still hit a lot if you have it dialed in. Do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. I have two printers and same profile, and the other printer will print a little differently, and it doesn't make any sense. But also, it all comes down to the film. Also, I've seen different. Again, DTF does things doesn't make any sense technically, but it does things, and you would be like, it doesn't make sense. Like I was with the technician
But
this
it does.
morning, and he's like, turn the software on and do this calibration. And accidentally, I left the software on. Then only fixed it, but technically, they're saying turn the software off while it was doing certain things. But it does things doesn't make any sense technically, but whatever works for you. Two printers will print differently. Uh, I have been printing for so long. My ICs are pretty spot on. People are actually literally. I was talking to you. Absolute came by. He gave me a PMS number. I plugged it in, printed a strip for him, and he just compared it with his sheet. His screen printing shirts, which were 5, 6 colors, and he doesn't want to burn 7 screens again for a 30-piece job. He came by. He's like, "Wow, colors are spot on. Yeah, give me a couple of sheets." So I've come down to where it is pretty spot on. But again, my second printer would not be again the same look, same color. Sorry, although it has the same exact consumables, ink, ICC, everything same. That's DTF for you.
See, it's so frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it's crazy. It's same printer, same consumables. Speaking of consumables, have they gotten better since you started offering UV DTF? I mean, in the year plus, it's amazing how much like DTF consumables have shot down in price. Everybody's making them and so forth. It's still the wild, wild west. Everybody claims mine's better,
Yeah.
and then you just constantly are doing all this R&D to find, this is the best opacity, color vibrancy, color accuracy, durability. When it comes to UV DTF, have you seen, any big improvements there?
No, because to be honest with you, since it's still new, and it doesn't have all the challenges of powder and the film quality. The only difference I've seen it is like I said, this is the white, and then I've seen the clear. Clear is just looks more appealing to people. It's like, oh, so this is actually clear. Versus if they look at it, they still think like, oh, it's got a white background, it's just a regular sticker. But then I have to explain to them, hey, it's not a regular sticker. It doesn't have the white background to it or whatnot. But I think just the film has gotten better. I'm guessing the inks. I've called because I'm running out, and they said they have a higher grade ink. So it's just the ink and the film. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on there because there's no powder or film, like the DTF has. But the DTF has definitely come a long way from in consumables, from ink to especially film, because I get 50 emails from China because they realize they are going to websites. They realize who has DTF, and they're shooting emails saying my transfer is better. But I don't have the time for R&D. I just don't, because I've been here printing for so long. I want to make sure it will last 30 washes before I start selling that product. And a lot of customers do
and
that.
the other thing is, what's also very frustrating with working with China is they'll send you something, but it's like, are every other roll you're going to send me that same because their quality control is very different, and
The badge,
I'd rather pay more to have consistent quality.
Absolutely. I've seen ink being a different badge, same company being different badge, and will give me a different result. And I was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't change any profile. Why is it different? I got a different badge ink. So now my PMS colors, Pantone color is not printing the same. Because I just refilled the bottle because it's a different badge. So there's nothing you can do. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until
Challenges.
more and more of this is made outside of the U.S. and the better quality control. I mean, you think about DTG. Most of us weren't ever buying a Chinese-made DTG printer or the Chinese ink that was going into it and everything else. It's just And I know you're a Bairden guy.
Yeah,
You have, just Jay-Z embroidery. You're definitely very strong with embroidery, and Bairden is, next to Tajima's. That's the nicest equipment you can buy, and it does make life a little bit easier. When it comes to this UV DTF and DTF in general, yeah, there's starting to be some equipment manufactured in the States,
sure.
but it's still primarily made in China,
Yeah,
and
they
they're
put on the logo
charging
on.
you 2-3 times more of
Sure.
what it actually cost.
Yeah.
So, getting a little bit back to kind of Alpha Broder a little bit. So, Alpha Broder again during COVID, right before, they bought Primeline promotional product,
Right.
and Alpha is one of the largest promo product dealers, technically, or suppliers in the country. They next to like Hit Promo, I can't forget a couple of the others, but they are the biggest. So
Well,
Alpha Broder, again, makes it very easy to outsource a promotional product job to them, but as well, what we don't like in our industry, Ali, and I didn't see any in your shop, we hate holding inventory of blank products. We absolutely hate it. I want to be able to raise, I mean,
right.
you're in the Fort Worth area by 4 o'clock today. If you get a PO in to Sanmar, you're going to get it tomorrow, most
Yeah.
likely. And it could be tomorrow at 10 a.m. that
Right.
easily. Why would you hold inventory? Well, when it comes to promo product, we can't just buy one at a time from a blank
Sure.
supplier. It's just not that easy
Right.
typically. But the minimums aren't as high as I think a lot of people might think. It
Right.
might be just 24 or 50. And I don't mind sitting on blank promo products because they don't come in 6 different sizes like a t-shirt would. If
Sure.
I have a
Yep.
shirt, it has to be your size.
Right.
If I have the same couple of products, like let's just use drinkware, they come in
Right.
different sizes, but I don't
Right.
mind having these. And
Right.
so I just think, if you're ever going to hold inventory, hard goods are definitely easier than apparel because they're not going to be sized to you. What I also
Sure.
really love about UV DTF is it's like DTF ate into DTG, eats into screen printing and even embroidery. I mean, it all does. UV eats in direct UV, engraving, also sublimation. So like this was really a sublimation product, coated,
Right.
white, and so forth. Well, a coated sublimation product, again, it has to start with white because we can't print white with sublimation ink, but it's more expensive because of that coating versus I could get a black mug, which most customers would prefer, maybe a black product over a white.
Right.
And from there, I could put that UV DTF sticker on there. And that
Right.
customer may have been told, many times over the years, well, we can't print on the black color. We can't do it. We can't do it. Well,
Right.
guess what? Now we can. One of the really cool things about UV DTF is it doesn't have to be just products that you supply. Your customers can come to you. So let's go, let's say you work with contractors, and the contractors have different tools, they have hard helmets, all that kind of stuff. You can brand practically anything your customer brings to you, which is really cool. And unlike, direct UV, you may have to have a jig and you are a little worried about screwing it up. I mean, UV DTF, it's hard to screw up. The only thing you do is accidentally kind of start putting it on early and,
Right.
and so forth. But yeah, how's that, opened the door to just making your customers happier?
Oh man, I mean, like I said, I'm one of the few shops around here who accepts bring your own product. That being said, it could be T-shirts or any all the printing process. They were bringing their own, but now with the UV and I print it here, they bring their own product. So it's changed the game. In fact, you wouldn't believe it. I even started doing the magnet tags, the hotel magnet tags people have. So I have a whole bunch of blanks, and I put peel and stick UV stickers on it. So I have them here, and they were like, "Oh, usually the other supplier takes about 3 weeks or 4 weeks to print magnet tags because they're sublimated somewhere else, and we just usually buy that. People like you and I have been buying that stuff, outsourcing it. But now I have them blanks, and I'm peeling and sticking on and magnet tag. So it really has changed the game, and I mean, it's just one of those things where I have started doing so many things with UV, which is something I was not even thinking before. Little things I'm offering. Oh, I'm a PTA member of my kids' elementary school, and last fall festival, I took the entire classmate kids' names and did their stickers with their girls. I did pony with their name underneath it. Boys, I did Spider-Man and one of those things, just logo or whatnot, and did the little things on it. And I was just giving them out for free as a thing where the arts and crafts booth, they were able to peel and put it on their own bottles. So that changed the game. I never was able to do that before.
I have accidentally walked into my house and my 2 and 4-year-old find the UV DTF stickers and they're like, "Oh, Dad, you brought us stickers." It's like,
Yes.
do not put that on anything that we aren't ready to commit, because, like you said, you are not getting it off once it starts getting rubbed on.
That is. I took a sheet at home because I was going to meet a customer, and my kids thought I bought a sticker. They even grabbed scissors, and they're supposed to. UV stickers is my desk, my dining table, walls. It's not coming out. It's just not coming out.
It's on your dining table.
And I was like, oh my God, what did you do? I took my heat gun. So luckily with the heat gun, I was able to take it off my dining tables and nightstands and whatnot. But the wall, I got a big chunk of paint coming out of that wall. So it's just nothing I can do. But that sucker sticks. My firefighter buddy came by, and while he was inside, I ran outside. I put a unicorn, super cute unicorn, big sticker on his bumper, not knowing that sucker is not going to come out. I put it on. He drove around for 2 days, realized there was a unicorn sticker on a firefighter, his vehicle. He was mad. It didn't come out. It peeled off the paint, and he was mad. I did not know it's not going to come out.
Jeez.
So that was his 6'5" big firefighter. That was fun.
It's a very durable, durable. Application for sure. I mean, more than a lot probably think. It's because it can also print very fine detail. I mean, that's what's impressive to me about this, is that I've got the little registration R.
Yeah.
You can't even see it, but barely, and it's still on there with 50 plus washes.
Oh yeah, look at this. I do. I'm sure a lot of people that's famous know the STEM Academy. This is, oh man, I can't even tell how small this letter is. I mean, I can't tell in the camera, but I sold her 200 of these suckers. I introduced the technology, sold her the sheet. Usually she had a bumper sticker type, the typical stickers on the laptop. And I was like, hey, why do you have this white thing around it? I just sell you the sticker. She bought 500 of them and gave it out to all the teachers and put it on the laptop. So this is very small, fine detail. It says the leadership in STEM education. It's only 2 inches. It's not even. It's 1.5 inches, and it's got 5 words in it. So it's there. It prints fine detail.
What's cool too about it, what I always loved about DTF, I mean, there's many things, but I know that when I print a heat transfer DTF, I put it on a hat, I put it on a bag, I put it on a shirt, everything is going to look exactly the same. Okay. And if I was using a carrier that blew the color light or anything like that, well, it's going to do it to all of those different products as well.
Right.
Versus, let's go back to like sublimation. When you sublimate, a mug versus a plaque versus just all these different products, they all have different time temperatures and pressures, and before you know it, you could print the same design on these different products and they could easily look different because of just the way it was applied. The nice thing about UV DTF is you're going to get a very consistent same exact color and look because there is no second
step. You're not relying on heat and pressure, correct?
No, you're not. You've eliminated that. And if your customers ever wondered about, needing that consistency and so forth, and these transfers just allow it. So, again, UV DTF, give us an idea of, when somebody outsources UV DTF to you, it's probably very similar. Hey, we have a gang sheet size, something like how wide does your printer print up to? Because these UV DTF printers are typically they print 12 to what 24 most of the time, depending on the printer. Wide film.
Depending on the printer. Yeah, I got the wide format, which is the commercial grade, just like the DTF, the 24 inch. So yes, I do have the 24 inch, and of course you can. The roll is 24 inch. You need to have that buffer. So I offer 22 and a half, but prints just fine. Even with 22 and a half, I still got good inch on both sides left.
But it's a
So
slower printing process to a degree,
slower.
right? I mean, you're not maybe on your normal DTF, you might get 100 square feet out an hour for, and then on
Right.
UV, it's a little bit slower, but you're not
Absolutely.
printing as big of prints. You know, you're
Exactly.
printing something
Right.
small like what you have.
Right, right, absolutely. Because I mean, I mean, right now my DTF is going. I have a 560 rush job screen printing. Sorry, shirts, 5 colors, and I'm printing that, and it's literally due in 2 days, and I got 2 dual press. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. So it's one of those things where I'm printing half a roll versus DTF. I'm sorry, UV DTF. Yes, it's slow process. I like it. Of course, I can change settings in it to print faster, but there's no point. I'll make a difference of 2 minutes on a 22 by 90 sheet,
And
and people don't want that
and
much
you
of UV DTF. Just don't.
yeah, and you don't because it's not going through a heated dryer. You can kind of walk away from that printer with a
Absolutely.
lot more confidence, right? Because
Right.
it's not
Absolutely.
going to
Yeah.
catch fire, probably like
Yeah. It's
the
not gonna catch
DTF
fire.
can.
It's not gonna come out of its alignment. It won't move. Yeah. And again, like you said, it's not. It's a curing process. It's not gonna catch fire. There's no pump. There's nothing of that sort. It literally just comes out. If you want, I can walk up and just show you the printer if you want. That's just for the people watching.
Um, we'll do a webinar on this topic as well, and definitely want to actually get that firsthand appearance of the machine. But uh, is there any tips that you can, think about DTF? Everybody outsourced it. Still, I recently ran a poll on the DecoNetwork Facebook group, and
Right.
it was around 40% outsource, 60% do it in-house or are looking to bring it in-house. And with
Okay.
DTF, every year it's just going to keep going that direction. It more and more shops will bring it in-house because if I'm outsourcing 20K worth of
Sure.
DTF transfers, probably
Right.
going to eventually bite the bullet and get it myself.
Right.
With UV DTF, do you really see that being the case as much? Because I don't, because just my demand to print hard goods isn't as high compared to
Sure.
T-shirts and so forth. So I think it'll still be that situation where it'll be a little different, and we're going to have more shops like yourself who supply it, less that actually pull the trigger themselves. Do you agree with that statement?
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I don't think, like for example, this friend of mine who's buying from Denver, she keeps buying it, and I don't think she would be inclined to buy my own printer because it just doesn't do them that much volume. You don't supply that much of, printed goods when it comes to hard goods. Demand is there, but usually smaller demand is less because if you want it, you always want higher quantity. And if you're ordering 500 bottles, I'm definitely outsourcing that myself. I'm not gonna peel and stick myself because for me to peel and stick 500